What's been like watching Jonah's evolution over the course of the season?
It's been outstanding. It's been very fun to watch. Just love how he goes about his work. His intention in the bullpen it's really professional. I got to give our pitching coach Dan McKinney a ton of credit too. He really does a great job connecting with our players, and really has gotten the best out of them.
So I'll take you back in time a little bit. You're here 3 years ago. There's Acuna, there's Mauricio, and there's Brett Beatty, and now they're all in the majors. So you see this next wave of talent. Like, how do you think it compares to that? And like, how rewarding is it for you to send guys to the big leagues like that?
It's why we do this job, right? To see those guys progress and develop and go help our major league team win ball games. And we got another wave of very talented players that are knocking on the door right now with Williams and Clifford and Benj. They're all playing really well. And they're young, right? So it's the same age kind of those guys were when I got them. And just to see them grow up in front of our eyes has been outstanding. And watching them on TV, it's definitely exciting to do.
I assume you get to know Carson a little bit in like spring training, but what's it like to now see him at this level and hit the ground running the way that he has?
Very impressed. Just from the first game on, he's hit the ground running. Has swung a hot bat. But he's still learning. There's things that we've been working with him on that he's gotten better with. His defense has improved since he's been here. Base running is another area we're trying to improve for him, just to make him a total package.
How have you seen his defense get better?
Pre-pitch, his jumps, his first steps to the ball has improved. Just areas that we wanted to focus on with him. Playing a little more center field too, and just seeing him go after and go get balls, challenging the layout for balls that he thinks he can catch, and he's taking the challenge.
What does he need to do to make that next step as a center fielder in particular?
I think that's just it. Just the ability to show that you can go get balls, the ability to turn your back on a baseball and then re-find it next to the wall, beat the ball to the spot, those type of things. That young players have to get the reps and the time to progress at it.
Jet's also seen time out there. Kind of same question for him. What's the next step for him as a center fielder?
I just think it's continue to do what he's been doing. He's the time that he goes out there, he looks like a natural. He really enjoys playing outfield as well as infield, so there's no gripe there. He puts in the work and just has been a pleasure to coach and be around. He's worked his butt off this year, and he's top in the league in every offensive category, and defensively he's one of our most improved players all around.
Both players called up and haven't skipped the beat. Just how impressive is that, and what have they done to excel at this level?
I don't think they tried to do too much, and that was kind of the message when they got up here. You got promoted for a reason. You were doing really well in high A. I just want you to come out and play your game and just show the world what you got. We can refine here and there, but for the most part, just do what you've been doing there. And it's Double A. It's going to be a challenge, but I think they obviously, we thought as an organization they were ready for it, and they hit the ground running.
What have been your impressions watching George Lombard play shortstop just as an opponent?
Yeah, no, I like what I saw. I was actually talking to Tucker about it earlier today. I feel like he does a really good job. He's very rangy, good strong arm. And he's young. Like, he's just going to get better and better and better the more reps that he gets at that position. But he's done a fine job.
Guys like Nolan McLean and Brendan Spurdy had him last year and earlier this year. Just how surprised? Not surprised. How do you evaluate what they're doing right now? They're dominating at a whole other level. Like, it seems like they're ready for the big leagues. How do you just evaluate their performance and so forth?
Like you said, they've been dominant. They've been doing really well. We had Nolan for just a few starts here this year, and he was ready for the next challenge. I think they're taking the bull by the horns, so to say, and attacking every day up there, and throwing some really quality innings for Syracuse. And you guys have been doing this for a long time. It's also timing and opportunity, right? I'm sure when that opportunity is there, those guys will get the call whenever that is. Who knows? But all they can do is keep doing what they're doing, where they're at, where their feet are at, and attacking every day.
How important was it for Nolan to give up the hitting portion of the game for his pitching to take that next step?
No, I think it was a necessary move. It's just so hard to recover. You go and pitch, say 5, 6, 7 innings, and then you're in the lineup for 3 or 4 days, and then you're back on a bullpen, and then you're back in the rotation again. It's a high demand, high ask. And I think that was definitely affecting his pitching last year. And once we made that move, he's just skyrocketed.
When I spoke with him last year, he was pretty adamant that he wanted to be the next two-way player.
Yeah.
Did it take some convincing to get him to give that up?
Not really. When you're hitting $170 and you got a couple homers after 100 plus at bats, you realize like AA is a separator, and obviously AAA, as we know, is a harder level, and then the ultimate level is the major leagues, and it's super hard to be able to do both of those things.
Along those same lines, how important do you think it's been for Benj to give up the pitching side to be able to focus exclusively on that?
Yeah, I think that was a move right away that we went straight to. When a guy has the ability to swing the bat that he does, that's his hit tool, is his thing. So not to interfere with that, just kind of let the pitching go to the wayside is probably the best move that we made.
Given the season Jonah's had, do you feel like he's getting maybe close to that next challenge and ready for that?
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He's a young pitcher, he's a young player. He's still learning, he's still evolving as well. I mean, what he's been able to do at this level has been very impressive. The strikeouts are impressive. There's still some command things at times. There's still some repertoire things we still want to clean up and get better before he's ready for that next challenge. But he comes and he attacks every day. He's very intentful with everything that he does. So guys like that, they don't stay down forever.
Yeah, I was going to kind of piggyback off that. Like, how do you think he can improve his commands? Like, how could he take those next steps to be, like, even better than he is now? Even though he's been elite this year, but there's always room to grow, right?
Right. I mean, I think it just takes time, right? He's a young man, like I said, and the more opportunities he gets to get out there and pitch and really refine his pitches, a little better slider shape we're going to attack and keep working on that. But, his changeup has been very good this year. His fastball has been very good. So he's got a couple pitches where he can throw in zone when needed, and that's huge.
Do you think a guy having the year that he's having, it's important maybe for him to sometimes bear down through adversity? I know in his start the other day, every time he seemed to get in a little bit of trouble, runners and scoring position, whenever he escaped, he kind of just bear down and focus. Do you think that's kind of something he needs to face, getting in a little bit of trouble and learn how to bear down in those spots?
Yeah, I think that goes for everybody. At some point the game's going to humble you, and at some point you're going to be challenged. How you respond to those challenges is what we want to see, the body language, the attitude, and those type of things. You're going to fail in baseball. I mean, everyone knows that. It's guaranteed. What level you're going to fail at, we don't know. Jonah has done a tremendous job of not failing as much this year. The next challenge might be in AAA, where he gets, hit in the face and has to pick himself back up. But he's gone through some innings this year, some high pitch counts, some inconsistency with throwing strikes that he's like you said, he's found his way out of giving up big innings and high damage. So it's just in his nature. He wants the ball. He wants to attack guys. He wants to get after it, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
What actually goes into his ability to get out of those innings? Is it a mental thing, or is it execution more?
I think he believes he's better than who's in the batter's box, and I think that it starts with that. You got to believe that you can do what you need to do and execute the way you need to execute. Also think it's the practice reps as well. In the bullpens with Dan, when he's challenging them on different things and he's making them execute certain pitches, having scenarios that he has to work through in the bullpen. Now he's in the game, he's already practiced it. Now he can go out there and execute. And he's definitely got confidence in two different pitches. So the ability to say, okay, it's a 2-0 count, but I can land my changeup whenever I need to. It's a big thing for a young pitcher.
And then obviously the strikeouts stand out for him, but he's only allowed 8 home runs his entire pro career now, almost 3 seasons. How is he able to keep the ball in the yard so much?
Good question. If you have that answer, let me know. But I just think he doesn't give up a lot of balls in the heart of the plate. He pitches at the top of the zone with a good riding fastball. Mid-90s. It's hard to get on top of. It's hard to square it up. His changeup does a lot of moving. It's funky. He keeps guys off balance, and for the most part, he's ahead in the count, and that's a big reason why he's able to put guys away and not give up a lot of damage, because he does work ahead for the most part. The times that he does fall behind, that's when he can get into trouble as anybody else.